Hello?
Hello. Hey, hi. So this is the interview call. So are you ready for
Yeah.
interview?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. So can you please go through your brief me about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I have total 15 years experience in IT. Out of these, first five were only in designing,
Okay.
like websites and creating websites and web applications. Then I moved into development. So
Okay.
from 10 years, I will say the 5 years were just creating the HTML, CSS part, not the dynamic part. The
Okay.
last 5 years, I've been working with JavaScript, jQuery,
Okay.
and HTML, CSS.
Okay.
And out of these 5 years, 3 years into Angular,
Okay.
and Angular last 1 year in a billable project.
Okay. Okay.
So everything, whatever I know till date, is all with the experience, with the live experiences. I don't
Okay.
have any programming background or as such.
Okay. So for now you are working with the JavaScript part, right?
For now, I'm working in Angular. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how you are comfortable with JavaScript?
JavaScript, I'm okay because I'm working with Angular now, so I have to know
Yeah, sure.
JavaScript.
So how
Yeah.
much you are comfortable? So out of 10, how much rate yourself in terms of JavaScript and Angular JS out of 10?
Okay. Angular is like Angular. It's been maybe 5, but JavaScript I would rate to 7, 7,
Okay,
7.5.
that's much better. Thank you. Okay, so your current project that is called IHG, right? IHG, is that your current project?
It was because I know I'm not working anywhere right now.
Okay,
So in April I left that job. In April I was working with IHG. My client was IHG, and I was working with Cygnus Datamatics.
okay. So do you have any exposure in Node.js?
No, no Node.js, not React. Because I
Okay,
already mentioned that to the person, that HR person.
okay, okay. Not an issue. Okay, so coming to the JavaScript first. Okay.
Yeah.
So in JavaScript, so can you please let me know what is the difference between Windows and document object?
Yeah, documents, Windows is the load page, I mean the full screen. Okay. And
Okay.
document is the HTML part of that of the page.
Okay. So can we say a document is a child of Windows?
No,
Okay. So window dot document can be right?
no.
Okay. Okay. So in ES6, how much you are comfortable with ES6?
Yes, it's like I write with arrow functions and backticks and all I use in
Okay.
Angular.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Do you know a spread operator?
Yeah, the spread operator. What is that? You want me to tell?
Yeah, yeah. So can you please
Okay,
elaborate
spread
something about?
operator is the triple dot we use for that, and it is basically it has various features with various purpose maybe. The
Okay.
first may be that, yeah, the first may be that if we want to clone an array, and then if we have we use the spread operator to clone an array, and then if you push something to the array, then the original the cloned array will not have any the push thing will not happen to the cloned the spread operator and clone array. So what will happen is that if we want to have the originality of the array, we can use spread operator is one. Second is
Okay.
like if we use the math function like if I use math.min or something,
Okay.
so maybe so if I have prices and I have some integers to it, like 10.5 or like, so if I simply write math dot this min function and then give the array price and num, it will not work. It will take it will be like I think it will be not an number. So
Okay.
what we have to do is that if we put the same thing with a spread operator, then we will get the results with that proper results. It will
Okay.
be like in a proper sorting thing. It will happen, ascending thing.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Uh, okay.
Okay. So do you know what is the difference between undefined and null? Undefined and null in JavaScript.
Yeah. Undefined is that we will not define the variable anywhere. So we have not defined it anywhere. But null is that we have defined the variable, but we have not defined any value to the variable.
Okay. So what is the difference between primitive and non-primitive data type?
Primitive is the old ones. Recent ones, the non-primitive. The primitive ones are the old data types, like what we used previous, string, boolean, and in primitive string, boolean, and then numbers. So these will all come in primitive data types, and non-primitive is like which is the latest ones. I mean, I'm not sure of this.
Okay, not an issue. Okay, so let's say, are you calling the API?
API calling in an Angular, well, not exactly, because I'm working in a freelancing project right now, so I have all the code done by another person, but I'm going through the code and also I've understood a lot about the APIs, but directly I've not worked in Angular.
Okay. No, I'm talking with just pure JavaScript. I'm not
Pure
talking about,
JavaScript.
yeah.
Recently I did a project in jQuery, this
Okay.
same freelancing only.
Okay.
So there are also some APIs they called and all. So again, I have not worked from the scratch, but after the response and everything was created, I have called all the dynamic data and all. That I can do, but from scratch I have not done that.
Okay, fine. Okay, so in JavaScript, do you know promises?
Yeah.
So what is the difference between promises and callback?
Callback is something that a callback is it's called when like one function is the function is done and then this method is called callback function. So something maybe that there are two functions, one function inside another function. So when the first function everything is done, then this function is used to call back. This is called the callback function. And promises is like it is done in a single event and it cannot be cancelled, and lazy loading and all we cannot do in promises.
Okay. And is that asynchronous or synchronous pattern?
Promises is synchronous.
Okay. So do you know, can you please elaborate about what does synchronous and what does asynchronous?
Now, asynchronous is something that a parallel code is running, a snippet can run with it, and that it is like the non-blocking flow of the data. Asynchronous. If we send some response, we have maybe at line 400 or something, we have some response. We don't have to wait for that response to come back. Okay, we send a request maybe at 400 line, and then that we don't have to wait for that response to come back. So it will execute the rest of the things. That is asynchronous.
Okay, not an issue. Okay, so let's say, so do you know what is the difference between double equals to and triple equals to?
Yeah, double equal to is only date. It is like triple equal to will have the data also matched along with the value and one more thing. See, it is so common, it's not coming into my mind.
Okay, not an issue. Okay, so so are you currently on jobless, right?
Yes.
Okay, so uh, so is there any offer you have in hand?
No. But I'm doing some freelancing work also, which I mentioned.
Okay. So which type of freelancing work
is
you
in
have?
Angular only. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so on Angular only you have doing something like this, right?
Yes.
As a freelancing. Okay.
Yes.
So which type of project are you currently doing?
This is basically a training institute project. So
Okay.
they have those drones, the drone things. So they will gather whatever the drone training institutes are there in India, and then they have the form to the service provider is there who can get into the fill in the form, and they can get registered into that company, into this particular company, and they can showcase whatever trainings they have,
Okay.
and that there is an end user also login. So end user can enter into the system and see what all trainings are available for drone training, pilot training, and drone pilot training. Yes.
Okay.
So so end user can enter into this, and they have other features also, like they have a red carpet. Red carpet was basically an internet site where I did work with that jQuery thing, the APIs and all were there, and this is and now they have moved to an Angular project.
Okay.
Same person, I am working with 2 projects right now. Second.
Okay. Okay. So in Angular's perspective, okay.
Hmm.
So what are the things you are doing in using Angular?
Sorry.
What are the pattern? What are the things you are using in Angular? Like
Angular,
let's say you
everything.
have doing some project. Okay, so what type of
Yeah.
module you have developed in Angular? So so this project
It
is
is
very
one.
long, right? So how
The
many
project
modules
is
you have been
very,
developed?
very big. Yeah, the one is from the end user registration, then one is the provider registration, then one is the pilot training. That is not yet developed, but that will come soon if I
Okay.
continue. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and then there is one more as the onboarding system. Like the person has to fill in a huge form to get into the provider. No, they have to fill in what they are giving such codes, what course they are giving, what vacuums are there for that course, and each day what they will teach. So if they
Okay.
select the courses for 7 days, then 7 text boxes open, then we have to fill in all 7 text boxes what has to be done in each day.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So let's say I just wanted to create some page, right? So let's say I
Yes.
have login page. Okay, and I wanted to authenticate the page, authenticate the user.
Yes.
Okay, so using Angular, how can you authenticate the page so that user is authenticated or not? If that user is authenticated, then I will allow him to get inside the our project or website.
I understood your question. That is the API we have to create. So that I have not done. But
Okay,
I know that API service needs to be created, and the
okay,
backend person gives the data and all, and we have to implement that in our project.
okay,
So so this much only I know about this thing. APIs I have not worked directly.
okay. So can you please uh, uh, let me know what type of work you have doing right now. So actually, so API stuff you don't know, right?
No, not much.
Okay. And on code level, in Angular code level, code stuff. So how can we authenticate the user using UI, using Angular? So even you don't know, I think so, right?
No.
Okay. So in Angular, what type of work you have done right now?
Yeah, right now it's like I've created components, I have created some services.
Okay.
The front-end thing, I mean, like there is
Mhm.
increment and decrement of things, like if I click on a button, it keeps on increasing. So those things are written as a service, and then I call it in my
Okay.
different components. So mostly
Okay.
it's the front-end part I have done, created components and HTML, CSS of all the designs. And
Okay. So
yeah.
coming to the Angular part, okay, so I'm just coming to the basic Angular. Okay. So in Angular, so let's say in ng module, right? So there are something providers, there are some declarations.
Yes. Yes.
That is a property of ng module.
Yes.
Okay, so what does exactly doing provider?
The providers is the part where we mention the services. The services thing we mention in the providers.
Okay.
They are the providers provide this service to rest of the components. Whatever is being written in the service, we
Okay.
can use that in rest of the components.
Okay. And how about the declaration?
Declaration is where we have to declare the modules, like the browser module, these are all there, but any module we...
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I think it was a network issue. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So declarations is like where we have all the declarations of the components, the modules, where we have to declare, and then we have to import various things from various places.
Okay.
Whatever module we have added, we have to import it from maybe if it is routing, some routing module, some yeah.
Okay, so in Angular, do you know unidirectional and bidirectional?
No.
Okay, so do you have any idea about how can we bind the page, or do you have any idea about how can we, two-way binding, single-way binding?
Yeah. Those are strings interpolation. Then a two-way binding is there. Then the data binding there's there, and event binding. There are 4 types of binding.
Okay.
First is string interpolation, that is from the TS file to the template file.
Okay.
Then the data binding is there. Then we can again do the event binding, which is from the HTML file to the TS file.
Okay.
And two-way binding is that we can, whatever we are updating in the view will get updated into the TS file, and whatever we do it in the TS file gets updated into the view file.
Okay. So Angular, Angular will be a single-way binding, or that is a two-way binding? By default.
Two-way binding.
So by default, that is two-way binding, right? You mean to say?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. ng model, if we write and all that, it gets two-way binding, right?
Okay, fine. Okay, so in Angular, so let's say in Angular, do you know shared component?
Yeah, shared components we create, which can be we create a folder as shared, where we can have all the shared things into that, whatever.
Okay, so folder is okay, but what is the use of shared component?
Yeah, which can be used across components, right? Shared things.
Across components, that is fine, but I need to know why shared component we'll need to generate.
Okay. Because so some things are common in application, right? Which we don't have to write in every TS file or every component TS file. So we create something shared, which we have put all the shared things which is common throughout the components into that.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, providers. So coming to the providers. So can we write the providers in component?
Providers, we already have a separate phase to provide.
Yeah, separate things. In ng model, we have write the providers, right?
Yes.
That will call the services. Okay, so can we call the services in common component as well?
No, we can even call directives, pipes, and all which are common. Not in providers. Sorry, these are not providers things. Sorry. So these are no. So can we write providers in components? I have not done it.
Okay.
I've already used providers only for services.
Okay, cool. Okay, so coming to the HTML, are you also working on HTML, right?
Yeah, full HTML, CSS. Full.
Okay, so let's say I have two components, two elements, right? Child and div. Two div element, one parent and one child. Okay. And child element I want to make it center from horizontally and vertically. Okay. Child element I want to make it center.
Okay.
Okay, so how can we do this? What are the CSS we need to write?
Yes. So I can use flex. There are various ways, but I'll tell one. That is the flex thing. If I give the display equal to flex, and then I give justify content center and align item center, so it would be horizontally and vertically center aligned.
Okay. So
this is one method. Another method can be that if we give display a stable cell and vertical align middle, then again that thing would be in the center of that div.
Okay. So do you know HTTP and HTTPS?
HTTPS is more secure than HTTP.
Okay. So why it's more secure? Why we use HTTPS? And where we are using HTTPS?
We use HTTP. No, I'm not sure of this.
Okay, not an issue. Okay. So let's say if you are calling calling the API, okay. So sometime you have got the 404 error on the page. Sometime you will got 501, 502, 503 like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say on page that will come 501.
Okay.
Okay.
It is.
So is that server side error or is that client side error?
It is backend error. 500 internal server error, right? So it is backend error.
Okay. So 502.
I think I have not got this error very often. Mostly I get 400, that is bad request, and 500, which is bad internal server error.
Okay, so 400.
Both are backend errors.
Okay, so both are backend error, you mean to say?
Yes.
400 series and 500 series.
Yes, 400 will get bad request in the form something a user has requested, which is not matching with what the backend person has done. Maybe some characters he has mentioned for 100, and the person is giving 200 characters. So again, a bad request for that.
Okay.
And 400 and 500 is internal server error.
Okay. Actually, I have done from my end. Is there any question for me?
I would like to know about the company also, because I've gone to the website.
Okay.
So I just want to know a little bit about the company also. If you.
Yeah. So company that is.
Also subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to get more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy coding.